Style goes a long way in puzzle games, and its importance has grown in tandem with the complexity of the concepts behind the games in question. The more complex the puzzle game, the more it seems to be dressed up. We've come a long way from the simple bricks that made up Tetris, and while many games go all the way, like The Witness, to creating a beautiful world, you can still achieve a lot stylistically without breaking the bank, as games like The Misadventures of P.B. Winterbottom demonstrate quite handily. Visually, P.B. is themed after old silent movies, with a film reel film grain effect and a load of humorously worded narration text. The graphic design has a real sense of style that not only looks really good on its own, but is woven throughout the game. Even the sound design has this almost joyful melancholy to it, a sort of Danny Elfman feel. When it comes to the style of P.B. Winterbottom, it isn't just what the game looks and sounds like, it represents what it is, what it wants to be at its very core. And while the stylistic elements are unquestionably the most intriguing part of P.B. Winterbottom from a distance, the mechanics are ultimately what matters, and P.B. does a fantastic job with them as well. Your ultimate goal in every level is to gather as many pies as you can in order to satiate the protagonist's ravenous hunger for the tasty treats. The core gameplay revolves around you creating clones of yourself in order to solve puzzles. Each level has a series of limitations to make that more difficult, like limiting the number of clones you can create to a sensible level. But equally as important is how the game introduces those mechanics. For a game developer, it can be extremely difficult to figure out the balance. Everyone's going to learn at a different pace, sure, but you need to make the difficulty ramp up in such a way that it doesn't feel too easy or too hard to grasp new concepts. The speed at which you introduce new mechanics and the complexity of those mechanics is extremely important, and this game does a great job of it, slowly feeding you new ways to solve puzzles as you go along at just the right pace, gradually drip feeding you with new puzzles to solve and new ways to solve them, often implicitly. And the fact that it remains perfectly accessible without having to resort to being explicit is a sign of well-done design. Of course, it remains a puzzle game, so it's likely that your mileage may vary. A specific puzzle may take one person a very frustrating half hour, while it takes another just a few minutes. Different things will trip people up, and some of PB's later puzzles are especially devious. But that's a caveat that exists with so many modern puzzle games, and PB comes nowhere near to the frustration that some games bring with them. The Misadventures of P.B. Winterbottom is a game that manages to perfectly mesh its visual style and gameplay aesthetics. It feels like you are inside a simultaneously melancholic and whimsical silent film for the entire game, and its mechanics reflect that. From the time-bending mechanics accompanied by appropriate old-timey visuals, to the music, just everything fits together in such a wonderful way. Every Friday, I look at games that were ignored when they came out or have been forgotten since. Games that people have missed. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see the latest videos. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.